Hi, I'm Perry from Reddit and Rind, and I'm talking to you today because you ordered one of these beautiful British artisan cheese mystery boxes, and I'm going to talk to you today about March's offer. God, I lost my mumps there. And talk you through the cheeses that we have in front of you, why I selected them for you. We're currently in my maturing room, so in here we use humidity, temperature, brushing, loads of selective pressures that get the cheese in tip-top shape, just so it arrives perfectly at your door, ready for you to eat. So in your box you would have got your tasting notes. If you don't want to listen to me, you can dive straight into those. Your how to care for cheese, what pairs well in terms of alcohol, and the I ate more British cheese, because our industry, our heritage is in trouble. The horizons are looking far, far more brighter, but you know, we're still in kind of panic station. So keep on buying British artisan cheese. Buy it from me. If you don't want to, go down your deli and demand British artisan cheese, because we are awesome cheese makers and it deserves to stick around, and COVID can't beat our British cheese heritage. So let's dive into our first cheese. Number one, Kern, made down in Cornwall by Catherine Mead. Bigger brother cheese is Yarg, you might know that. This was made like 3 years ago, 2018, I think it was 2018, he won Supreme Champion at the World Cheese Awards, making it the best cheese in the world. I love this cheese because it's kind of like a British Comté, Alpen style, and we don't really have that refined kind of feel. It's got this beautiful black wax around the side, which looks really distinctive on the counter. That black wax is painted on, that locks in moisture. In terms of what it looks like here you go. This is what they look like 4 kilo wheels. We turn these daily, make sure that kind of tiny moisture gets all through the cheese. We turn these, make sure to look after them. The longer we have them here, the more the moisture is going to slowly evaporate from the amino acids, are going to break down, be a little bit more complicated. But I thought I'd show you kind of like line up the cheeses of, you know, where they came from. So that's Kern, that's what it looks like. So in terms of visually, we've got this lovely yellow texture indicating that it's a cow's milk cheese. Obviously we've already spoken about the rind. It's quite tough to cut into this one. It's a bit chilly in here today, you know, the temperature has dropped a little bit, so hard to cut. Room temperature, 45 minutes before, you slice through that like no business. Aroma, nutty, sweet, mild, kind of like medium mild, a little bit up there. You know, refined, just a really nice aroma. That, as I was unwrapping it in my paper, that came out, that smell, and it's just beautiful and strong. So flavour, I love the texture of this. I always talk about how Comté, French cheese, really famous, has this unnoticeably granular, roux-like texture. You know, it's such a beautiful cheese. The flavours are so good. The nuttiness is on a really high scale, really refined, Brazil kind of area. The caramel's coming in the back. The slight, not there yet, but a little bit of bacony kind of coming in. Just those beautiful sweet notes, a good thing for us to kind of welcome us into our cheese range. You know, we've got some big flavours today. I went with some big kind of heavy hitters that are going to really satiate your palate and get you excited about eating the next cheese. So really great cheese for us to start with. Next cheese up, Montgomery. Oh, one thing I was going to mention about this actually, which is really cool, is that they, let's forget about that. We'll move on to the next cheese actually. Montgomery Cheddar, one of the most famous cheddars made in the UK, made by Jamie Montgomery and the Montgomery family for like 500 years. I love this cheese, and I've got the perfect little profile here with a nice piece of blue. It's like a joke that kind of goes around there. You always get a little bit of blue in your Montgomerys, and I'm not mad at it. You know, I kind of seek those batches out. So if you get a little bit of blue, you know, you've kind of won the lottery in my opinion. So this is a cheddar style, unpasteurized milk, so no heat treatment going on, straight from the cow, ready to go into the cheese, making the cheese. Smell, beautiful acidity, a little bit of earthiness, milky, grassy. Overriding feeling is the acidity, the tang that we may get in the cheese. In terms of flavour, nice chewy texture. You know, gets the jaw working, gets that oxygen going over the palate, unlocking all those smells in your nose. So much terroir, really beautiful, grassy kind of notes. That acidity is refined, lemony-esque, more kind of citrus, beautiful savoury brothy notes at the end, got loads of legs, then a nice rush of mineral sea salt kind of at the end, which is so cool. I love this profile of Montgomery we currently have. I haven't got it here, they're like 25 kilo wheels and it would take me forever to pull it over from that side of the room. But really nice round flavour, singing on all kind of elements, really good for our second cheese. Remember to eat your cheese in order. Next cheese up, Berkswell, made down in Rams Hall. This is what they come out, look like little UFOs of cheese. This is pretty cool because you might be able to see some of the moulds on there. So we've got some chrysosporium going on. And if I see this little kind of mould that's developing on the rind of the cheese, I then kind of want to cultivate that. It's kind of, I don't really know the science behind it, but 9 times out of 10 when I have a cheese which has got this mould on, I'm like, wow, it's a really good profile. So I'm just trying to push that up. So I get a little brush with a little bit of water, wash the rind, and then use that brush on the next cheese. So I use that on the next cheese, hopefully cultivating that good mould and getting those flavours in there that it imparts, which is an age-old affinage technique, which, as you guys know by now, I'm qualified in. So yeah, beautiful shape, nice little disc. So yeah, it's got this ivory texture, which I've just discussed before, but for those who don't know, you know, sheep, goats do absorb the carotene, the colouring in the grass, and they use that, you know, in nutrition. Cows do not, they pass that straight through their milk. That's why cow's milk is more yellowy. Goats and sheep is more white, ivory kind of colours. So that really nice rind, have a check on yours, see if you've got some of those moulds. You know, you can imagine me trying to get them going with a little brush. Smell, earthy, grassy, you know, lemony, acidity kind of coming in there, a little bit of background of the sort of nutty notes that you're getting. Flavour, moister than the other cheese. This is a younger profile. Lactic acid up, a little bit of kind of burning sensation that you get. I'm guessing that's from an increasing kind of like histamine that's in this cheese. This cheese has been made since like the 1990s. I was born in 1988. I was like 2 years old when this cheese came to be. I mean, it's got a beautiful lamby note, roasted lamb savouriness at the end, which is like really pronounced at a short experience, and then the acidity takes back over with a slight bit of nuttiness. Moisture is so good, and it's good because it's like wetter in texture, weirdly, than the other two, so it kind of provides a nice little contrast that's there. Delicious. Next cheese up, Baronet, made by Juliana down in Wiltshire. Juliana started making cheese in Hungary, moved over to America. She made like 27 goat's cheese or something ridiculous. Luckily we have her here. She is a delightful woman. And this is her cheese, Baronet. It was in last month's box, but I found an interesting profile which creates a really cool thing within our cheese tasting experience. And I wanted to utilise it here. So this cheese is washed. We can see from that peachy rind, slightly wrinkled. There's a little bit of bluing emerging from it. Don't worry about it. It's cheese. That washing will allow bee linings and other bacteria to grow on the outside and create funky flavours. You know, we're expecting aromas as stinky socks. You know, I'm not going to get around it. I'm just going to say it how it is, which we get. Slightly higher, more like apricotty actually, you know, like fruity. Fermented fruits, you know, like, yeah, interesting. I tried this the other